at the bottom right corner to scroll down to orientation, little knob to alter it, enter, and it's pretty obvious after that.
Thank you.
No worries.
New kind of AI, Dan GPT. We've got our own AI, Dan GPT.
What does the GPT stand for? Going partial throttle.
Okay, guys, let's start if we can. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We got a tremendous turnout today. 59 people in the Discord voice channel already. So that's all looking good, and it's great to see some of the old names have joined us, some of the regulars, and also some names I don't recognize. Who's here for the first time?
Lee Brown, here in Colorado.
Wow, in Colorado. Well, you're very welcome.
I'm Phil. I'm from Northern England. I'm here for the first time.
Well, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Now, joining the SimHanger fly-in events, if you're anticipating correct procedural activity, let me pre-warn you now, you're going to be disappointed. Or
not.
These flights are planned for fun, a little bit of realism, but some challenging landings and the odd surprise. Not very common, but we do the odd surprise here and there. So I hope you enjoy the flight. We are in the Masai Mara in Kenya right now. It's a place that most of you may not recognize the name, but will have watched on television. It's a 580 square mile game reserve that butts directly onto the Serengeti. And I'm sure most of us have all seen the big migrations of the wildebeest and that sort of thing. Yeah. And we're sitting right on the route of the wildebeest and zebra migration route here at this airport. We're in the Rift Valley, and this is actually not the flight that I originally planned, but I've been a little unwell recently with COVID, so I was a bit behind schedule. All good now, though. So this is one of 3 flights that I did for myself personally some time ago, and it takes us from here all the way through to Lilongwe at the base of the Rift Valley in Malawi. This is leg 1, if you like. So we're here in the Serengeti, we're here in the Masai Mara. We're going to be crossing over into Tanzania via the Serengeti, and hopefully we'll see some game, but on my test flight I didn't see very much at all. And for those watching on the stream, thank you very much for joining us. I just hope that that YouTube sorts out their problems and that we get a little bit better stream. I've turned down the bit rate, which means the graphics won't be quite as good, but hey. Okay, so leg 1, time to get on with it. Apologies for the delay to everybody. Leg 1 is we're going to be heading to Kedong Airport, and we're going to be doing that via the Suswa crater. So initially we're going to take off. Heading is 170. You need to climb to about 9,500. It doesn't need to be too rapid a climb, but climb to 9,500 overhead Suswa crater, and then we'll be turning on a heading of 140 for just under 12 nautical miles to land at Kedong Airport, Hotel Kilo Papa Delta, and we'll be landing runway 17. So without further ado, I can see we've got a range of helicopters. I can see some Twin Otters, Baron G36 I think it is, and quite a lot of Kodiak 100s, which is no surprise and is my choice for the flight today. So when you're ready, gentlemen, let's go.
Rolling.
Hey, see you later, losers.
The YouTube stream looks great to me, Mark.
The YouTube streams at 1080, 60 frames a second. Good video, good audio.
Thanks for that. That's a bit of a relief because we really had problems initially. Let's go, 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 guys. Let's go. I think we got over 60 aircraft in the air today. There goes the helicopter. I'm getting left behind, so I better get out of here as well. Flaps are down 1.
What was the heading again, Mark?
Heading is 170, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, if you guys are, I don't know how many of you are on live weather. Whoa! Whoops, somebody gone down. Whoops, where'd he go? Right hand turn, guys, and let's head out. Flaps up.
Bouncing Bronco.
Yeah, it's quite turbulent actually, I'm surprised.
Weather's anything like last night, there was a horrible crosswind at the first landing.
Yesterday I had a 19 knot crosswind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal yesterday.
And the Kodiak's ignoring the GPS again. Well done, Kodiak. Back to its old tricks.
Yesterday I was flying with 40 knots winds and 72 gusts.
Wow.
Oh, that's not good.
Papua New Guinea. New Guinea.
My Kodiak's thing is behaving perfectly. It's doing exactly what I told it to. So there must be something specifically wrong with your one.
Are you in your motion rig, Mark?
No, not for the stream, sir, because I can't stay still.
Right, that is.
Right, let's go.
Yeah, this is bumpy.
Now, for those of you on live weather, your barrow should be 30.18.
Smooths that a little bit when you get up to altitude.
I'm in the Kodiak, as I said, and I've got a selection of passengers and freight on board.
I'm in the P750X stall from Orbix. Just got it a few days ago.
Oh, I don't know that one, but what is that?
It's a low-wing turboprop bush plane with a very low stall speed. It has some analog gauges, some sort of LCD, LED gauges that are really cool. Makes engine management really easy. And it came out about a year ago from Orbix, and it's got a good manual, a really nice airplane, really interesting, lots of variants, agricultural one, and very nice. And Av Angel and Gatcom did some reviews of it. It's very good.
As ugly as my mother.
Plus one from me for there. Also to point out that it does, even if you've got engine damage disabled, it does simulate engine damage. If you overcook the ITT, it will not like it, and you'll get gradually reducing power on it until it's struggling to do anything really.
It didn't seem to get much attention.
Somebody just zoomed by.
I think it got overshadowed by the Kodiak, but
It'll be
you like Kodiak. this is even still a good one to have, even if you like the Kodiak.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's enjoyable because it's a bit more hands-on with the, with the analog, the semi-analog gauges, shall we say?
Roger.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
That's
we've
the plan.
got the Suswa mountain and Suswa crater ahead of us. Now, you may not realize it, but many of you who watch any wildlife programs have probably watched programs based in the Suswa crater. It has, the whole crater is riddled with caves. And one of the caves, quite a large one, in fact a very large one, is known as the Baboons' Parliament. And it's where the baboons go at night, and they climb up on the ledges to sleep, to stay away from the predators and what have you. And it's also the same cave is also the home to a very large species of bat called the mastiff bats. So the bats are in there during the day and then fly out at night, and as they fly out, so the baboon troop goes in. It's
All right. Yeah.
there's
I think
also
you could, definitely narrate a wildlife documentary, Mark, for sure.
He is tonight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
there's also being the Masai Mara, it's be no shock to you that this is one of the ancestral homes of the Maasai, the very tall warrior tribe of Kenya, which is my place of birth, just out of interest, guys. And the airport we took off from is about 15 miles from the place where I was born, a place called Nanyuki.
Whoa.
Are the Maasai the ones that do the dance where they jump up real high from standing still?
That's the Maasai.
Yeah. Mark, I actually used to
Mark,
say...
can you demonstrate that for us, please?
Mark, I
Mark, when
used to say
did you
the
leave?
Sorry, go ahead.
When did you leave Africa?
I left Africa about 22 years ago, something like that.
Exactly the same as my wife, Mark.
Yep.
Mark, I actually used to stay up in Nakuru, in a town called Gilgil.
Yes, I know
Yeah,
it.
so I know the way we sort of flying states. It's great.
Now the scenery that we're flying in today is all Microsoft default scenery, but guys, keep an eye on it. It is absolutely amazing for default scenery, and you're going to see very changeable scenery as we get on in the flight and through the various legs, from fairly mountainous regions, fairly heavily forested regions in the higher altitudes, to very sparse scrub and so on. And as I mentioned earlier, this is part of the Masai Mara Game Park, and we're heading directly towards the Serengeti, and the route that we're following is pretty much on the route that the wildebeest follow. Now I hope you're paying attention, because there will be questions at the end of the flight.
Are these wildebeest roaming majestically across the plains, Mark?
Oh, damn, I didn't know it was
In
going to be tested.
2024, the news someday will be.
I don't know that wildebeest are majestic in any shape or form. Man, they are ugly beasts.
It's an English thing, but I was reminded of Faulty Towers, if anybody's seen it.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Everybody has.
Absolutely.
Big Cat Diary was filmed in the Masai Mara. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Some years.
How's your Swahili, Mark? Do you still speak it?
Jumbo Barigani.
Habarigani.
It's easy for you to say.
That actually was the extent of the Swahili.
Well, we are all known as Mzungus, aren't we, anyway, which means white man.
Mm.
Yeah, one day. Yeah. I was lucky enough to spend 9 months travelling through Africa in the late 90s, and you would always get a Mzungu shouted at. It was nice.
But it's really weird, because in Zulu in South Africa, it's Mhlungu, which kind of like the same thing. It's all kind of like the Bantu tribe. The sort of languages are kind of like very similar, but not the same. If you know what I'm saying.
But Mark, I had a very sleepless night in Lilongwe once. I got in late and I had to use the council rest house night, and it turned out the council rest house was actually a brothel.
Oh my God.
Is that why you didn't get much sleep?
Oh, you stepped into that one.
My partner and I spent the night sat up in the bed just staring at the door.
What was happening?
Not
It was
touching
very
anything.
busy. Very busy. Yeah, it was very busy.
Oh dear.
Okay, guys, I've got a high temperature on the ITT. How do I actually reduce the temperature?
Throw water over it.
Oh yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Okay, what?
Mixture.
Yeah, what you got to do? You got to you got to come back on your prop and on your throttle fairly substantially. It might be worthwhile because once that engine goes, that's the end of the flight. Control E won't fix it, so might be an idea to go switch off damage.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark, maybe I missed it. Do we veer off of 170 now?
Yes, we do. Once you're over the crater, we then turn on a heading of 140 for just under 12 nautical miles. That will take us to our next landing, which is a full stop landing. It's on top of a mountain, and most of you can see that right in front of you there. In top of not a mountain, but a hill. And we're landing runway 17. The altitude is just under 5,500 feet. And we want to taxi right to the end because we'll be taking off in the opposite direction. And good luck.
I'm assuming there's no wireless on this one.
Tunesy, what you flying?
Just follow the wildebeest.
The Juice Goose buggy. No, I mean I played it safe in a Kodiak, mainly because the TBM 850 had an error. Couldn't clear this error, so it wouldn't throttle up. So I went safe.
It's a 2,000-foot runway.
Right.
Are you in the Quest,
for too long.
I'm in the Kodiak, yeah.
Are you in the Quest 3?
No, I'm not. I don't do the streams in VR, unfortunately.
Oh, of course you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just gives a really poor visual experience for those watching on the stream.
I'm loving mine, and I can't believe I'm saying.
I'm loving the Quest 3, guys. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah. Me also. I hated the Quest 2. Love 3 for sure.
Yeah, I never got into the Quest 2. Its resolution just kept me away, to be honest. So there you are, guys. You can see the runway just on top of the hill there. And we're landing runway 17, altitude just a tad under 5,500 feet.
You guys look like a swarm of bees down there on the other end, man.
Looks like Steve Tease is going in. Red Ruffin Saw is about to turn base. PB 1127 and old B52H Gunner. How are you, my friend?
Doing good, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, sir. Now, for those of you on live weather, this is going to be a very tricky landing because we have a 21 knot crosswind.
Well, you're not kidding. It's vicious.
No crosswind, that's furious.
My beer.
And it's almost a 90-degree crosswind, so just keep an eye on your speed and don't come too heavy. Don't go full flap, I would suggest. Maybe 2 stages, but no more. Which is going to make stopping at this rather short dirt runway fairly interesting.
Not the ostrich, no.
Whoa, I can feel this crosswind. It's blowing me away.
This was quite something with the crosswind.
Yeah, that crosswind got me.
A lot of folks are making multiple landings.
There goes G Chuff. I think you're doing, Mike, you're doing a go around, my friend.
We're actually can't land 170 knots, I've decided.
Whoa! My
No, no, I can see
goodness, that was
Oh, yeah, I've got you
shocking.
now. People are popping in.
Whoa! That was a shocker. While I crashed.
Ooh. I'm still trying to identify the runway. I see the hill, but
What's the altitude of the runway?
Just under 5,500.
5467. 5,000.
It's not paved. It's a red dirt track.
Got it.
If you stop going downwards, you're on it.
people are always so helpful on these streams.
Absolutely. I'm here to serve.
British humor's always welcome.
Instead of Chat GPT, just call me Twat GPT. There you go.
Language.
You know, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change to preset few clouds, guys, because that crosswind is just an absolute. That's just about at the maximum of what the Kodiak can manage.
Just makes it more fun, Mark.
Nice stopping board, Sim.
Mark, it's unlike you to make excuses.
You didn't see that landing. Trust me, I need excuses after that landing. It's typical. I practiced it earlier, yesterday in fact, and it was a perfect landing with a crosswind.
Right. I kept my speed up too high, came in too fast, and went through everybody.
Welcome in, Mike.
I've turned turtle. It's probably because you're in the presence of royalty with Gingy here.
It'll buff out, Mike, don't worry.
I think you're right. I'm gonna
Mark, the landing from the opposite. Mark, the landing from the opposite side would have been much easier.
I think you're right.
You
The next leg is we on departure. We want to climb to 8,500 feet, and we're heading to the next leg, which is at Sopia Airport. It's Hotel Kilo Oscar Victor. It's 38 nautical miles, and the heading that you want is 220 degrees for a direct route there. How are we doing? Is everybody down?
Oh, that was terrible.
Couldn't
Number one, there's somebody just coming in. Strato, something or other.
I'm in the tree.
Strato jam. Just.
Is there?
I'm still alive.
I'm on live weather, but I didn't have a crosswind that I felt. How's that possible? Are you also in a helicopter?
Same as me. I didn't have any crosswind.
Sounds like good flying. Sounds like good flying to me.
It must be it.
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Guys, you're making me look worse, man.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I could be on live weather and not have the same weather.
There's a turbulence setting in the sim.
It's there.
Which it can set it realistic or low or medium.
Is that under assists?
Yeah, I think it is.
Antus is just touching down, quite long.
Yeah, it was pretty bumpy for sure.
Yeah, I'll be that turbulence then, guaranteed.
I wonder where that is. Trying to find it.
And eggs fly just a nice landing.
I think it's the bottom choice, isn't it? It's the realism or the what's the bottom menu of it?
Oh, the turbulence has been set to low for, I don't know, forever. Now I have.
Oh, you little cheaty weety.
Yeah, that's weird.
To DB,
the realism, I don't know how that happened.
if you go into Microsoft Flight Simulator and type in Hotel Kilo Papa Delta, that's the airport that we're currently at.
Live weather also walking.
If you miss us there, then go to the next airport, which is Hotel Kilo Oscar Victor.
Yeah. Live weather.
Okay, gentlemen, let's make sure that you got at least one stage of flaps down, and You know the drill. The
Close
last
your
one
eyes.
off. The last one off buys the drinks.
In that case.
Adios.
Man, that Bronco takes off like a scalded rat.
Do scalded rats fly well?
Well, they do if you stick your toe up.
Whoa!
Oh, there's a crosswind on that takeoff.
Wow! My
I'm
goodness.
distraction, guys.
Flaps up. Oh, that was a bit extreme.
Bouncy, bouncy.
Okay, so left-hand turn, gentlemen.
What altitude are we looking for?
8,500 feet for this leg.
Heading?
Heading is 220 degrees.
You'd think I could have remembered that from when you said it a minute ago, but...
Well, you said it, not me.
I was focused on landing at the time. I wasn't listening to anything. Hey, did you guys know there's a crosswind?
No, never noticed that at all.
He's very angry.
The whole time I've been using this sim, I've been flying with the turbulence on low. I had no idea.
You're gonna hate it. You just ruined the sim for yourself. Turn it back off again and wind the clock back 10 minutes.
So, while Mark's not telling us about the scenery, I was just thinking today that I really need someone who's unbiased, i.e. Mark, to do a video, if you haven't already, that compares the G2, the Pimax Crystal, the Arrow, the Quest 3, and any other actual contenders. Not, you know, not... What's that?
He only has a couple of them. I think VR Flight
Well,
Sim guys, your man.
Well, I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about that, but I thought, Mark, you had at one time had.
Yeah, I've currently
all of
got I've got the Pico 4, Reverb G2, Pimax Crystal, and the Quest 3 currently.
And you had the Arrow for a while, right?
I've had the Arrow. I had the Arrow for about 3-4 months. And, you know, it's very hard to say which is the best headset simply because of the price.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want and it depends what you want out of VR. If you want the best graphics, the best clarity, and best density of pixels, for want of a better word, then the Pimax Crystal is your choice. But make no mistake, it's a heavy one.
Heavy
Again,
choice or a heavy HMD?
It's a heavy HMD. Yeah, bear in mind it's 1.2 kg. That's a lot on your head, but again, depending on your build and what have you and so on. And you're going to be looking at about $1,500 US, if not more, depending on the configuration. Then if we jump to the other end of the scale, my current favorite, although I'm not sure about the Quest 3, but currently is the Pico 4. I can get it in the UK now for £350. And I'm getting 2160 by 2160 resolution, which is the same as the HP Reverb, and I'm getting edge-to-edge clarity. But it's not as good as the Pimax. The visuals are not as good as the Aero, but the Aero is going to cost you 1,000 euros or thereabouts, and if you don't have base station, that's going to cost you another 200, 250 euros, and so on. So it's all about, really, as far as I'm concerned, what sort of budget are you willing to commit to?
Big screen beyond thing looks good to me because it's really light, easy to put on and off, and it has OLED lenses, I believe.
Yeah, now that's the one I haven't tried, so I can't really comment on that. The big screen VR. I haven't tried that one. Steve VR Flight Sim guy has done a number of reviews on it.
Good.
So it'd be worth having a look there. You know, I think that big screen VR and the Quest, the big screen VR with its form factor and the Quest and the Pico 4 with its wireless connection, this is the way of the future.
Yeah.
This is the where we've got to go. Now, big screen VR has great lenses. It does have a glare issue according to the reviews from Steve. There is no perfect headset out there at the moment. It just doesn't exist. Whichever headset you get, you're getting compromises. And in terms of my recommendation, it really is a balancing act between the cost, the comfort, and what you get at the end of the day. And I have
personal preference. What do you think it's important? You know?
Yeah, absolutely
What you use it
agree with
for,
you.
What you want from it?
So my confusion comes from the fact that I did try the Arrow. I ordered it because it had a money back guarantee. I ordered it, I installed it, and I didn't like it. Ignoring the fact that it made me unplug some of my other monitors, I couldn't leave all my regular monitors plugged in because it would just say, no, I'm sorry, you've got too much. I didn't like the chromatic aberration at the edges. The clarity was there, but I was distracted by the colors.
Yeah,
colors at the edges.
I tend to agree with you. The Aero at the time, bear in mind it was released 2 years ago, was definitely groundbreaking. But there are compromises. The biggest one for me, and why I never bought it at the end of the day, I never kept it at the end of the day, was simply the FOV. Look, I don't want to knock it, but its vertical FOV is very narrow. And it's a letterbox type viewing, and I also look, and comfort, VR headset comfort is a very personal thing, guys. What one person thinks is uncomfortable, another person will swear by. Now, Steve VR Flight Sim guy will say that the Aero's really comfortable, and I'm sure it is for him. For me, after a while, the head strap's too fussy. You've got to undo everything to take it off and then reset it again. With the Quest or the Pico, I plop it on my head, job done. And I don't want to have to tweak the system forever and a day either. I'm very much coming to a point in my flight sim where I just want to set and forget.
Boy, do I identify with that, yeah. I've even stopped doing a lot of... I've even stopped doing a lot of add-ons that I used to have because I have to manually go keep them updated and stuff. It's like it to be simple. So...
I agree.
So, Mark, let's say money's no object. What would be your personal, if you were just going to fly for a week, not straight, in VR?
You have to combine a few headsets, I reckon.
I mean, for what's available right now, what do you think you'd do?
Well, look, I'm biased because, and not everybody agrees with me, and that's fine. The Pimax crystal has a fantastic clarity, and that is a big immersion benefit.
Sure.
But it is after 2 hours, I've got to take it off.
Yeah.
It is just too uncomfortable in terms of weight. Now, look, I'm only 5'10", and I'm not a particularly big guy. So maybe somebody of a bigger stature will disagree with me, and that's fine. But for me, it's just not comfortable enough. My average VR session is between 1.5 and probably 3 hours, somewhere around there. And I want to get in VR and be comfortable for those 3 hours. And for me personally, when I look at the step up from something like the Pico 4, which I think is a very underrated headset, to something that's going to cost 2,000 or whatever it may be, do you know, I'd rather commit that money to a new joystick or a new HOTAS or a new yoke or a new add-on.
You don't have a headset. You have to pick one, and that'll be the one. You go to an island, you can't go off, and you can take only one.
And of course, we've still got some headsets coming up, guys. We got the Sonium 1 VR, and but
and I mean,
don't.
that big screen
But
thing, it's just
that
like
is
big sunglasses. You know, you barely feel you have them on. And they're really easy to put on and off. I think that's a big advantage.
I have the G2, and if it wasn't just from constantly being bombarded with people saying, "Oh, I just did the Pimax and it's wonderful," or "I just did the Quest 3 and it's wonderful," I wouldn't actually be looking for another one because it's comfortable. It's got the clarity where I need it because I've learned to move my head instead of my eyes. Performance is good, and I don't mind it being wired, although wireless would be convenient. But I didn't want to go to wireless and give up the clarity like the Quest 2, you know. So
yeah, so I have a bit of a split personality in that I do have the Pimax Crystal, and what Mark says is absolutely right. The clarity in the vertical FOV makes it, you know, a winner compared to my G2 in that regard. Now that said, you know, right now I'm flying on 355s, and I've got the G1000 panels, and that's a whole kind of different variety of immersion.
Right.
And I do feel like my flying skills are better with my 55s and the live panels in front of me with all the knobs and so forth. So, you know, I haven't quite decided yet, but you know, the immersion you get in the Crystal is fantastic, but I'm probably going to spend more time on the 55s and then special time on the Crystal, if you know what I mean.
I don't. Yeah, the triples I can't do that. Just so many reasons. So VR is kind of the way for me to get immersion.
Right.
Now, one of the things that's really important to me, but maybe I just need to get over it, is no base stations. That's another reason that I love the G2.
I agree with that.
I agree. I agree with that as well. I mean,
out of the best ones, which ones don't require base stations?
Pimax Crystal doesn't. And look, I'm talking, guys, about the Pimax Crystal being heavy. That's for me. Make no mistake, it's a great headset.
I don't notice it so much, but I haven't been in it more than 2 hours at a time, I'll admit.
Yeah, I've also got a Pimax and hold myself to about 2 hours, and it blows the doors off my G2, but it's lovely to have the G2 form factor with the Pimax and weight with the Pimax resolution and clarity.
And just stop and change the battery.
And make
I'm still using a valve index, and so I'm thinking about that Pimax because I've already got the base
we got a
stations.
touch and go coming up here.
Sorry, we're too
No,
busy.
we've got to land here. Runway 27, full stop landing.
I've got very poor ground scenery. Does anyone just not looks like American?
Good to me.
American digital camo.
Mark, if you land
No,
27, then you're
okay.
landing. Mark, if you land 27, then it's tailwind.
Yep. Makes it interesting.
Maybe I'll just land the other direction.
Have fun.
Won't be much wind anyway.
If you land on
2714 knots.
I'm on base, guys.
4 knots behind us. I'm on
I'm
final.
on final.
First stage of flaps coming in. I'm a bit high though.
Once again, I'm still just trying to find the runway. I don't
Yeah,
turn
they
on
are
the
quite stealthy, aren't they?
I don't turn on the airport markers, so I just have to follow
Yes,
them.
they're a bit hard to find.
it's in some of the trees.
There's a ridge of hills. It's below that.
Okay, I was looking on top of the hill, so that's good.
Mesmeriza's on it.
Yeah, that one on top of the hill I landed on last week by mistake.
Now I stand to be corrected at this airport, but I think in the real world, runway 27 is the only permitted landing, the only runway permitted for landing.
Oh, sure. You just don't want us to go with the headwind.
No, when you see where it is, this is the only gravel or tarmac runway in the flight today. But there's not a lot of room on takeoff. I can't recall if you're allowed to go on the other side of it. I can't recall. There was something, I think, at the time.
Yeah, if you come from the other side, you have to fly pretty close to the hill. So
yeah.
I could imagine that they like to prevent that.
Did you say touch and go or full stop?
This is a full stop, sir. And taxi to the end of on touchdown. Taxi to the end of the runway, and because we'll be taking off in the opposite direction to which we've landed. Oh, big judder there. I've just overtaken somebody on the runway.
That was me.
Sorry, I didn't use my indicators. Apologies.
Oh, that's okay. It's alright. I spat on your windshield as you went past.
As I come in over these trees in this river, I have to do the obligatory, man, this scenery. This sim is incredible.
It is.
Is it? God, I wish I could see.
I'm at the wrong
Terrible,
airport.
man. Mine looks like a Nintendo
Well, you
64 game.
I wonder if
when you lot were talking, I was admiring the scenery on the way here because all the colours were absolutely amazing on the ground.
I wonder if your
greens and
bandwidth,
browns
your
are all
internet
mixed.
bandwidth has dropped, and that's why your scenery's bad.
Oh, the frame rate's great.
Yeah, but it's not able to load the live data for some reason.
But Chunzi, you're right. I got the same thing, like rounded, pixelated scenery.
Yeah, it just looks like a little sort of camouflage blanket. Very.
Sounds like
I haven't got that.
The Bing world data has been turned off.
Yeah, like it shut itself off. You should go check that
Yeah,
while on the ground.
just check on your data tab when you land it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
so
it's nice
it was
though.
alright 10 miles ago.
Yeah, but if you have a blip from the sim says, "Oh, I can't see that anymore," see the
turn it off
server
and then on
anymore,
again.
it will turn. Yeah, it has been noted. I've had it actually turn itself off mid-flight and remain off until I've turned it back on again.
Turn it off and then come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it looks absolutely great.
I must say, my scenery, I know it's default scenery, but it's looking good.
Yep.
Yeah,
very good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We're so spoiled.
Even
Got a Kodiak on its roof in the middle of the runway.
Yeah,
So
there's
that's
gas
easy.
here for
Yeah,
those who need it.
I just had to dodge it then as I was coming in.
It's better. It's perfect when I take the Bing off. It's all come back. I took the Bing off, and then it's perfect. I'll switch it back on again. Let's have a look.
Can't see the runway for all the name tags.
Plough through
That's
them.
why
They'll
I signed a button to turn them off.
They'll scatter like bowling pins.
I can't see out the runway for all these aircraft sitting on my head.
Just aim for them.
I somehow came in with my parking brake on. I'm glad that didn't result in the disaster it should have.
Just slows you down a bit. You'll be
Hey,
fine.
Mark, I noticed we flew over a lot of red scenery. Was there a lot of red dirt here, like in Hawaii has a lot of red dirt?
Yeah, it's yeah, it is. There's a lot of iron in the soil, and that makes, and there's also a lot of calcium as well, and you get this red and white contrast, a lot of limestone, and thus all the caves and so on. And yeah, it's in the real world. It's. I've never flown personally over this part of the world, but I think it must be pretty awe-inspiring.
I bet it makes a mess.
Looks better now.
That windsock's completely down, isn't it?
I'm coming in dead stick.
Mark, you could say that motion compensation video you did was very good.
Thank you, sir. And
Yes, it was.
I am working very hard on a flight sim settings. It's taking me longer because I've had other commitments, but I'm going to create a as realistic as possible settings. But it's taking me a while. Probably still a couple of weeks away, but I've got it operating pretty smoothly, I must say. Quite impressed.
I've got another question, Mark. Actually, sorry, Mark. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I've got the H3 and it really is good with that motion compensation.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Haptic seat, Mark. I looked at the video again. Do you think it's worthwhile? That's a sort of I can't have a rig. I haven't got room yet. Do you think it's worthwhile as a little fun add-on for a Christmas present to yourself?
I do,
So,
and I will go further, Steve, and say that it's probably one of the best peripherals for flight simming I've ever purchased.
I agree. I've got tactile speakers, and flying without them, it just feels sterile.
And I can tell you, as I sit here on the grass, my arse is vibrating. Now, guys, resist the temptation. We're live on YouTube. I know exactly where you're going now. Stop it.
Mark, you had me. Oh my God, tunes are speaking again. Okay.
Mark, did you ever try to combine this with the butt kicker? I think you had at least one at one point.
I have not, but I do have a butt kicker, but I haven't tried them together. Now I used the butt kicker for many years. The reason I don't use it was because of the noise. Where I do my flying's up on the second floor, if you like, and the vibration and what have you. So I don't use it, and I honestly prefer the HF8 by some considerable margin. The butt kick is very good, but it's a little bit too aggressive at times.
Okay.
Just my personal opinion.
Oh, well, that's Christmas sorted for me. Anybody else want one?
You can't beat the feeling when those flaps and gear come. It's brilliant.
I love my rig. My motion rig is awesome.
What motion rig do you have, sir?
I've got the DOF 6P.
Oh, you are showing off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. Get out.
That is that's the
I
ultimate.
didn't realise Johnny Cash was with her.
Right.
It was a present to myself for my birthday.
The next guys, can I just interrupt? Let's just quickly talk about the next leg. Now, we're gonna take off here. You want an altitude of 9,500 feet. The minimum that you will require, because we're flying over those mountains directly behind us, if we've turned around and facing back down the runway, and you're going to need a minimum of about 8,000 feet to get over those. And we're going to overfly a small airport, Hotel Kilo Oscar Whiskey, and then we're going to go on to Masusu Airport, Hotel Kilo Tango November. So initially it's a heading of 252, and then on to, once we're overhead that airport, we're going to turn on a heading of 187. The first leg is 12 nautical miles, then 26. However, these mountains come up on you very quickly indeed. So what I recommend is hold runway heading. I would recommend you climb to something of at least, because they come up on you very quickly indeed. So initial departure. I'm just going to line up on the runway here, and then I hope I've left myself enough room. I'm not sure if I got my flaps
Yeah, you got one stage by the look of it.
I'm probably gonna have to catch up to y'all. I've damaged my engine apparently.
Is that the Kodiak?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go back to the main menu then. No other way around it.
On me with the
Wait a minute.
Kodiak livery. Who is that?
What about developer mode? You won't lose your flight plan. Go into developer mode, tools, aircraft, choose, and then choose the aircraft again and load it. That'll work.
So you go into developer mode.
Yeah, up to the, and then bring down the tools, and there's an aircraft selector option. It will scroll through, have a list of every aircraft you've got. Scroll through it, pick your Kodiak, click load at the bottom, and it'll just reload. And you can swap aircraft at any time in the flight without going back to the main menu, even in midair.
Okay.
That's a useful bit of information.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, Chunzi. That's a good one.
Does it work with the Kodiak's engine damaged?
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried it. I'm just, I'm winging it here, Dan. Don't spoil it.
It
works,
arbitrary
I'm the hero.
for me because Xbox doesn't have developer mode, so
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Tuesday, what pull down from the tools up at the top?
I think it's tools. Is it tools or options? I think it's tools. It's this one that says aircraft selector. Second one down.
There's a whole gaggle of aircraft going 180 out.
That'll open a box.
Yeah, we're
and then
trying to
there'll
get
be a list of all your aircraft.
Yeah, I'll see it here now.
Scroll it down and highlight your aircraft, and then click load at the bottom of the screen, little blue button.
Okay. See how this works.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Probably better on the ground, but I've done it in the air, and it does actually. It takes a few seconds, but it works.
You got to find the cockpit and airplane.
Yeah, every variant is listed, unfortunately. So there's.
Wow. Bronco, you already at 5,500 feet. Wow.
You can do a search for those airplanes.
Oh yeah, use the box at the top. Yeah, put Kodiak in.
Yeah, I see that. Try that.
I'm at 9,000, Mark.
Who's that?
Toby.
Gonna take
Wow.
I'm in the vertigo. I'm in the vertigo.
Mark,
Jeez.
Sure helps.
in the Kodiak, if you put it on FLC at about 103 knots VY, then it will climb. I mean, I'm still going up at 2,000 foot a minute at 6,500 foot. So
7,500 in the Twin Otter.
So I was so patient. I was trying to use the joke, but then we had to take off. I was going to say, I've got a butt kicker, but she keeps telling me to get off the computer.
I left mine in the bedroom.
I was going to say, it must be very uncomfortable for her.
Those are the kind of haptics you don't want.
Mark, I must admit, my wife did not like your recent helicopter video because she knows I'm probably going to want to buy it.
I'm very impressed with it, actually. I'm not a big helicopter guy. My favorite helicopter up to this point was the one from Got Friends called the Mini 500.
Oh yeah.
That's an absolute beaut. That's a lovely one.
That's so much fun to manhandle down a tight canyon.
Yeah.
Someone chasing you in like just a standard Bell 407, because that thing will just turn by 180 degrees on the.
That'll be the perfect helicopter for the Idaho River Run.
Right. Yeah.
So are the Got Friends people went off of flightsim.to for a while at least. Are they back on there or not?
No, I believe they're not going back. They had a complete fallout.
Okay, I just was trying to figure out where to find their stuff. So what's the new one that you reviewed? Is that the 160?
That's yeah, it's from High Performance. It's not Got Friends.
So The 160.
It's the Airbus H160, yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty.
I forgot. Did you have a link in that video to where to go get it?
Yes, I think I did.
Okay, I'll have to go back to that.
Hyper Performance Group.
Yeah.
Hype. HYPE.
The got friends have got a freebie at the moment. It's the DC3 with skis.
Oh my gosh. And the JTO, yeah. There's a JTO one as well. That was good. That's great.
Yeah. Got friends is really good.
They're a great group.
Yeah, I strongly recommend. I strongly recommend the 530F if you haven't tried it, Mark. Honestly,
the Shrike.
Awesome. I'll definitely have a look. Without doubt, I'll definitely have a look.
It is the most natural helicopter I've flown so far. I mean, the 407. You know, I can do 180 degrees. Somebody said without even twitching. Just try and do a hover. It's bloody difficult to control. But the 530F. More or less does as it's told when you get the settings right.
Who produced that?
It's it's Shrike.
Cowan Sim. Isn't it?
No, Shrike.
No. Shrike.
Shrike.
Is it Shrike Sims?
It's Shrike.
Shrike is a thinker.
Aren't they the cheaper version of Blackbird simulations? Builders?
Oh, Milviz. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Very good though.
They're kind of aiming at the sort of Coronado price range, but because they actually do good, decent quality systems and whatnot, the aircraft actually fly well as well as being relatively cheap.
But no autopilot in the Shrike, I think, right?
No, hands on.
Mark, I'm actually quite surprised that we are not supposed to land on HKOW.
So am I. I kept trying, but I never quite managed it, so I scrubbed it. It was one of my plans.
I did try it. It's exceptionally difficult.
Go. Challenge accepted.
Yep.
You can't say that when Theo's in there. You can't say that when Theo's in there.
Here we go.
The only thing you could recommend you could say that there was a bridge on there.
If you try, I would recommend come from the opposite side.
Okay, so that's a no then.
Yeah, that's how I tried it, and you know, a better pilot than me could probably do it, but I couldn't get. I kept going into the trees at the other end. I just couldn't get down.
Oh, this looks like a big field.
Sorry, what was that helicopter again?
You need only half.
Strike 530. Or
say again, Steve.
The Shrike 530 is the one that David was on about.
Yeah, brilliant little aircraft.
To be fair, and at the risk of exposing my ignorance, when attempting the landing on this strip we're talking about that we're flying over, I wasn't quite successful because I was not aware of the reverser in the 208.
Oh, what?
Your mic's very bassy.
It's very muffled, yes.
Yeah, it's bassy. I think it's clear, but it's
or maybe it's like too close to your mouth or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nothing wrong with that landing at all. Perfect landing. Swap.
Okay, as we turned on the second part of this leg, we're now heading towards Masusu Airport, Hotel Kilo Tango November. Heading is 187, 26 nautical miles, and it's a touch and go runway 06. It's a bit hard to find. And the altitude is just a little under 2,500 feet. However, what I'm suggesting is it's a touch and go runway 06. Then once you're off the runway, fly no more than a mile and then loop round 360, or is it 180? 180. Turn 180 and do another touch and go runway 24, and then we'll continue on to Ngorongoro Airport. So touch and go one way, 06, then as quickly as you can, a hard 180 and touch and go runway 24.
And we just loop it and land on our head, on our course.
Sounds good.
Let's see who can
Good
do
thing.
the steep turns.
Yeah.
Good thing there's no collisions in this.
No, there. Yeah, if you've got damage on, you might want to sit this one out.
Yeah, I would think it's a good thing we can't run into each other too. That would be a circus.
I think the guys in the Broncos might be able to do that really well.
We'll see.
You should be able to flip that gunner, shouldn't you? That Bronco, flip it right over.
We'll see soon enough.
So, before we get there, and I promise that I'll move on from this subject. Mark, did you ever say which headset, money not matter, you would use right now if it was just you?
I didn't know, because it depends what you want, or are you asking what I want?
You.
Me, right now, Pico 4 is where I'm at, or Quest 3. But I'm influenced. I'm strongly influenced. I love being wireless.
Yes.
I find it so liberating. I really do.
That was my question.
And the graphics are good enough. They're not the best, but you know, sometimes, you know, the comfort. Although, to be honest, the Quest 3, the default head strap is absolutely, I'll use a technical term here, crap, and really uncomfortable. I forked out the extra £129 for the Elite battery, for the Elite strap battery. But the big drawback with the Quest 3 is the battery life. If you're flying this route, and today it's going to take us about 2 hours, I'm guessing, that is about the extent you will get. You will get no more than 2 hours out of that battery. At least with the extra battery, I get just a little bit over an hour extra. So I can do about 3 hours, which more or less sorts me out. And then with the Pico, I've got the HKOV VR battery, the strap and extra battery, and that gives me 5-6 hours.
Mark, is it connected? It is PCVR, isn't it? The Quest 3? Or is
The-
it just wireless? Is it fully wireless? or
No,
is it PCV?
you can do it through a link cable.
Does that not negate any battery issues, or does it still just chuck with the batteries as well?
No, you can still do PCVR. It chews the batteries anyway.
Oh, okay.
And now I don't use it.
We're going backwards.
I don't use it much for, you know, playing games or other things other than flight sim. So I don't really know how long it'll last if you're using something loaded into the headset itself.
It seems like every step has gone backwards since the G2. I know it's got a mic, it's got headphones built in, it's got a reasonable display, it's got inside-out tracking, and then everything else since, no headphones, no mic, no inside-out tracking. Why do they keep going backwards? I just don't get it.
It's driven by price point, to be honest. In my opinion, they got to keep the price point low and attractive, and that's what they're doing.
You think HP have been underselling the cost of their G2s then over the last couple of years?
I don't know. That hasn't been the case in the UK, that's for sure.
No, that's true.
G2's not wireless though.
Yeah, I know. I realise that, but I think but they've got everything else in it, you know, built-in speakers, microphone, inside-out tracking, and every other set just seems to miss one or two or all of them. And I can't understand why it's being forgotten and not deemed important. Surely people just want to put a headset on and go and just use it.
Yeah, and I think another point is not just the headset, it's also you have to have the grunt on the machine to run that.
Yeah. And that's a valid point for the Pico and for the Quest 3, is you're not going to run it on a 3060 or something like that. You're not going to get the experience that you want. And I recommend a 3070 Ti, 4080 or 4090.
Is the same true for the Pimax?
But I have other people who say they've got a 3080 and getting a really good performance.
I had my Reverb 2 packed in, and even out of warranty, and they sent me a brand new one. And instead of buying anything else, I decided I'd get myself a 4090, and that made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that's
it does.
Yeah.
I've just got a 4090 last week, and it's beautiful. I've just spent 2 years messing around with it.
And gentlemen, how do I slew to where y'all are located? I forgot now.
Hit the Y key and then use the directional arrows on your numpad.
Oh, okay.
Just to say, flow is so good for the teleport ability.
Oh, yeah.
Just makes it so easy to just jump to another airport. Even if you don't use any of the other stuff. It's brilliant all round.
Yeah.
But particular for that.
We're getting close. The heading, altitude.
Yes, you need heading in altitude or you're going to be in trouble. Okay, it's we're going to land runway 06. Altitude is just under 2,500 feet. Direct to heading is 199 degrees.
I think it's 4,000 feet, isn't it, Mark?
I just found it.
No, it's
I'm just following you, Matt.
it's 2,464 feet, I thought.
4,000? Is that the length?
4,3999.
Yeah, I think it's 39. Yeah, 39.
Wait. Yeah, that would be a stall.
I cannot find the airport anywhere.
If you look for the mound that sticks up.
Dan, where are you going, Dan?
I
can see the mound.
I'm going on a safari. So there's a road just on the incoming side of a mound, and the runway comes from that road at a 60-degree angle ish.
So we were coming in on 27, yeah, and then reversing and touching in.
No, coming in at 60 and then doing 27.
Okay.
But I mean, we're approaching it from the wrong direction on our heading, right? And so we have to go past it and come back.
That's correct.
So basically, cross the road, and then turn and come back across the road, and it'll be right there, I guess.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right where the road bends.
I'm now doing a death-defying turn on final.
As am I.
I forgot to
I'm
pull
following you, Mark, so I must be doing it as well.
I forgot to pull my full flaps out on my touch and go and ended up stalling.
Mark, what's the IK code on the airport y'all fixing to land at?
Stand by, I'm just landing, or touch and go.
HKTN. So Hotel Kilo Tango November.
Thank you.
Oh, but this is messy.
I'm going to cheat now.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Our airplanes coming and going at each other.
Yeah, local comparison.
After the second touch and go, we head out on the heading.
Yep, and then run reverse your course.
So as you're coming in on 06, is there a little hill just to your right?
Yes, sir, there is. Yes, sir, there is.
To your right. On your right.
Okay.
It is literally a dirt strip. There goes Tango Theory on 24. Nice. Golf Mike coming in. Paulus 704, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Mark. Fine, thanks.
Step order. You've done a stop, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a rebel and he don't care.
Headachy Colt and Soapy, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Just taking off. Ear up, flaps up.
Dinky Doos and Benz. Stella Aviat. Welcome back. Tango Theo. There you go. Mr. Rennie Coeg. What are you flying? Oh, Renata.
Yes, sir.
Mark, have you ever tried this Cirrus Vision jet? That's the one with the jet engine on the back, basically.
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I can't recall. I've done the Honda jet.
It's like the Honda jet.
Yeah, I don't know that I have tried it.
Really good.
It's good. It's good.
It's very good. It's as good as the Honda jet.
I loved the Honda. I really did.
It's better than the Honda.
Is it?
Oh god, yeah, far better. It just everything works and it's just compact. It's a really tiny aircraft, but it just flies. You know, it's an intercontinental. I think it's probably the best small jet in. I don't fly it much, but I think it's the best small jet in the sim myself. I really do. It's so complete.
It's just a bit slow. Come on, like.
Yeah.
What's that?
It just works.
The Vision
Decent
jet.
screens. It's got the 3000s and all the things that go with it, and I love it. It's a great aircraft.
The Vision jet's superb.
I mean, Rosen swears by it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's so, especially when I've got most of the toys he's got in terms of communicating with the aircraft with touch screens and things, and it's so relaxed and controlled. It's nothing like the set vertigo thing.
If you don't really like the Honda jet, not that it's a bad aircraft at all, but just don't enjoy flying it particularly. Am I likely to enjoy flying the Vision jet?
Oh yeah, you'll love flying the Vision jet. It's a superb little aircraft.
Because I just find an aircraft of that speed, I'd rather be in something like it's not much faster than it's slower than a TBM, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very slow.
Guys, you need to climb to, it can be a gradual climb. It's quite a long leg this. It's 60 nautical miles. And we need to climb to 9,500 feet. And the runway that we're landing at in Gorogoro Airport has an altitude of just under 7,800 feet. So you do need to climb.
And a heading, Mark?
The heading, sir, is 199.
Thanks, Mark.
TBN 850, very nice.
I just finished a perspective touch for the Vision jet using MobiFlight with a touch screen. It's really fun to use.
Fantastic, and particularly with the Navigraph integration as well.
Agreed.
It works on the Vision jet beautifully.
Yeah, I've just got my hands on touchscreen.
Yeah.
Does the touchscreen work on anything else in the sim?
Well, yeah, it certainly will. You can pop anything out to it. I've got the 3 buttons. It looks just like what's in the aircraft, and it does work extremely well. With you have to use Pop-Out Manager in order to get the true touchscreen.
Right.
When you say you've got the 3 buttons, you've printed your case, have you, with those?
The whole thing, yeah. Fusion 360.
Great.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent.
Now, are your screens 1080 or can you get them up to 2K?
They're 1200 by 600.
That's right.
Well, at least the Raspberry Pi one is, which is the one that I use.
How big is it?
It's 7 inches.
7-inch, yep.
That's nice.
That's very good. I mean, it's very clear as well. I mean, especially if you're using Toby, and okay, you're moving backwards and forwards, sometimes I'm getting on a bit in years, and sometimes I get befuddled between the two. So having a static MFD on your desk is just below it is fantastic.
Agreed.
Mark, when do you think the flight will end today?
I think this is the second last leg, and I think in real terms we have got about 40 minutes left, sir.
Okay. I have to go watch the Mexican Grand Prix today, and that starts in about half an hour.
No problem if you got to leave us.
I was in Austin last week, and it was.
Oh,
What are
really?
your priorities?
Really? You were there for the race?
Yes, so hot,
Nice.
but 160,000 people per day. It was unbelievable.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy how popular it's gotten in the U.S.
Yeah, we had a lot of.
Finally.
It was my son's birthday present, so we.
Oh,
we spent
nice.
3 days down there.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Now,
We're
but
getting
honestly,
pretty sophisticated.
other than just the experience, you would rather just watch it on TV, right? It's not a great way to watch a race, to be there
Correct.
in person.
Yeah, my son's wife was texting the details, watching
She
it
was
at
letting you
home
know what's actually going on. Yeah.
to turn 12, which is where we were sitting. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah,
the spectacle is unbelievable. You know, it's
Yeah.
just
Oh my
That's
God,
what-
I
that's
wanted to
what
go to
track.
Las Vegas so bad this year, just for the spectacle, just for the spectacle.
You can get
When
to
the- when the-
Silverstone, and they put it in Silverstone. They've got screens, very large screens all around. So you get maggots. They've got a big screen.
Uh-huh.
They're quite good with the very large screens. So you can see the rest of the race from the area. But yeah, I see what you mean. It is a little limited.
It was very visceral as well, though, when those cars go. I remember at Brands Hatch when they used to have, the old, what I would call the old Formula One Grand Prix, and they went off into the countryside, and you were standing behind the exhaust pipes, and your whole body shook.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Has anybody seen the e-racing? Do you get the same vibe?
Some of it.
And if
It's
I
smaller
had
tracks,
to-
isn't it? A lot smaller tracks. So you should get a
Yes.
bit closer racing.
I think it's
It's
some of the same tracks.
It's a bit handbaggy for me.
Oh, of course, they do the e-racing. Do they do the e-racing before a main race on not the Formula E? I was looking at two different types. I remember
No, I
watching
think
e-racing on
that's it.
small circuits.
That's right. They're totally different circuits. Yeah.
Who's directly to my left there, keeping information with me?
That's old B-52 Gunner.
Hi, wow, good formation flying, sir.
Oh yeah, your name tags are right on top of each other.
Anyone see wildlife?
Haven't seen a thing yet.
Only you guys.
Nah, only
I've got
Tunesy.
I've got Tunesy in front of me. Yeah.
What
We're
have I
gonna
done?
get to Las Vegas.
We're wild enough.
Wise guys. Not me.
Has anyone been to the Isle of Man motorcycle race?
Not
Yeah,
wild
I've
at
been
all.
a couple of times. TTs. I've actually ridden the actual track. There's a day we call Mad Sunday.
Oh,
which you
yeah.
actually get to run the whole track on your own bike.
Yeah,
Which I've
that's
done
the
twice.
scariest
Oh my
thing you'll
gosh.
ever see. Yeah, it's the scariest thing you will ever see. Sitting there watching a bike go at nearly 200 straight past you. That's I've never seen anything quite so impressive.
They're mad, those guys.
They're
Absolutely
lunatics.
mad.
Absolute lunatics.
Lunatics, yeah.
Scariest thing you'll ever feel is being on the bike when someone's doing about 200 past you and you're doing 160.
Yeah, there's normally 2 or
That was
3
me,
killed,
by
and
the
then
way.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
I
people
feel like that
killed.
on the motorway now. I only drive at about 65.
They started to cut down on it though now. Do you know when you see people doing a bit too fast or
Oh
being
yeah.
a bit too crazy, they cut down on it. So
Yeah, the coppers
I
have a
believe
word
someone
with
got
them,
killed on the last TT just gone.
I used to volunteer at the Vancouver Indy.
Ooh.
That
Vancouver,
was very
BC?
cool. I was a volunteer driver.
Oh, really?
Not the race cars, but I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
transportation for the event, and I got to drive drivers. I actually drove a sponsor Dodge pickup in a parade lap.
So this was in BC?
This was in Vancouver when we had the Molson Indy.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I keep asking if it's BC because I live in Vancouver,
Oh
but
yeah,
not...
Vancouver, BC. Yeah, I forget there's another one.
Yeah.
But those are Indy cars, Indy 500 cars?
They were Indy 500 cars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did see Lewis last week. He was going by in a escorted motorcade, had his window down, waved to everybody.
Nice.
It was nice.
I went to an Indy race here in Portland, PIR, and I just stood next to the track as close as I could get to it, and just stood there and not even looked to see the cars coming, just experienced them going by me directly in front of me. And these were just Indy cars, you know, and it's just incredible, the speed.
It is awesome.
I think one thing that doesn't...
Hello, Bayo Mayo from Dubai. Thanks very much for joining us, my friend.
Is the NASCAR.
DB, that's me.
NASCAR.
How you doing?
That's
Marcus Lester,
crazy.
thank you for
The
joining.
speeds they go, the stuff from inside the cockpit.
Terry,
you know, that is unbelievable.
I hope it's sorted itself out now. I think actually it was a YouTube issue.
No, everyone says, oh, it's just going round a circuit, Yeah, no, nearly to the one on that. No. That's crazy. That's nuts.
Right, gentlemen, we're now approaching the Ngorongoro crater. It's world famous. It's actually a World Heritage Site. It is an extinct volcano. It's actually the largest intact volcano in the world. The floor of the crater is 260 square kilometers. It is full of wildlife, black rhino, eland, buffalo, hippo, that sort of thing. But interestingly, there are no crocs and no giraffe in there, maybe because it's so enclosed and there's so many predators. And it's a massive tourist destination, and it includes wildebeest, a lot of wildebeest, and about 30 to 40% of the wildebeest go on the migration. They come out of the crater, and as we come over the crater, you'll see there's a lake in the center, and that is populated in the real world, unfortunately not in the sim. That's populated by flamingos. So I'm assuming it's not drinkable water.
Are they pretty flamingos?
My wife and I...
If you like pink, they are.
My wife and I were in Ngorongoro about 6 years ago. And the big attraction is the rhino. Most everything else you can see outside the crater. But the black rhinos, there's only a handful of them. But that's why people go to. And the crater itself is quite dramatic.
The hotels around the crater edge are stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Charles Branson has one there. But we stayed, earlier in the trip we were in tents out further west, but they have a very nice hotel right on the ridge of Ngorongoro, on just the opposite side of the crater from where we're going to land.
It's got a full glass front, hasn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
We went in there for a drink.
Yeah, this crater, they don't know, obviously. It hasn't been active for about 2 million years, so they don't know how big it was, but before it exploded and fell in on itself. But they're thinking it may have been the highest point on the continent at one point, so higher than Kilimanjaro, etc., which is interesting.
Kind of a big
my girlfriend and I were hitching through Africa, and we bummed a ride with two South Africans, and we were in a 4x4, and we got stuck in the mud, so we had to get out and push it out. And we looked to our left, and there was 2 pair of ears sticking up out of the grass. And my girlfriend at the time climbed up onto the top of the Land Rover, and a hyena just walked out, bold as brass, maybe 3 meters away from us, just walked past. Just absolutely
Oh my
Amazing
gosh.
experience, yeah.
Right, for landing at Ngorongoro Airport, we're landing runway 28. Altitude is just under 7,800 feet, and we'll be departing runway 10. So landing runway 28 at 7,800 feet. So you don't need to descend too much, and the recommended approach is the large lake in the center. Head towards the middle of that and then turn final for your approach, runway 28. So as we normally do, I haven't done it for the last couple of fly-ins, guys, but it's always interesting to hear where people are from. How many Canadians do we have with us today?
One in Vancouver, BC.
One in Ottawa.
Yeah, Southern Ontario.
Ah, that's great. And step order, what's the weather like for you guys at the moment? You're in Vancouver, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a perfectly beautiful day, just like it is right here in our sky. Yeah.
Okay, and who's from the States? Let's have a shout
Getting
out.
cold though, I should say.
Ron from Virginia.
Lee
Hi.
from Washington.
Lee
Oh, yeah,
from
Long Island, New
Monument,
York.
Colorado.
I'm from Utah.
I'm
from
San
Texas.
Antonio. San Antonio.
Steve from North Carolina.
Florida.
Renton, Washington.
Wow, we really got the States covered in this fly-in. Wow, I'm impressed. That's fantastic. And Europe, guys, so I'm sure we've got some people here from the Netherlands, etc.
Yeah. Me, tango to you. Well,
And from the UK, I don't know if I've heard your dulcet tones. Maverick, are you with us?
He was. I swear he was. I heard him once.
I thought he was with us, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen him. That's why I mention it.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
I heard his voice at the first airport.
And is Guy with us? No, obviously not.
Quick
You can
question,
have
Mark.
mine then.
Off to the right, Mark. Is that a big area of sand dunes?
Yeah, you got Nico here from Chesterfield.
I'm sorry, I mean up to the left. Off to the
Hi.
left, I'm sorry.
Sorry, say again.
That big white area, is that like sand?
I think that's a mistake in the sim. I don't recall seeing anything like it.
I'm just looking. Which big white area?
To the right,
To the left there of the lake.
depending on where you are.
Ah, okay. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
quite
in
got
the-
there.
In the crater, it's in the crater.
Okay.
Oh, looks like it's right on
Oh,
the
I
shore,
see.
like a sandy beach.
Well, that sounds tempting. So, recommended approach is fly over the center of the lake and then turn final runway 28.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Don't forget that. Except you have to say it very ominously.
It's best to keep your eyes closed on final.
But if you just look around, guys, some of the scenery here is just spectacular. Oh, I see the big white area. I see what you mean, yeah.
Well, it looks like a crater lake. For impact or volcano?
Volcano.
Yeah, volcano. I think
That's where all this
that's
red dirt comes from.
that's probably the core, I would guess.
The source of all life, Africa, and almost the end of it, but looking at this one. Wow.
We got Yellowstone
Real
to look
life.
forward to that.
Real life, the sides are more dramatic than what you're seeing in the sim.
There's the super volcano in Italy's kicking off a bit, isn't it, apparently?
Previous.
Oh, is it?
There's something Fields, I can't remember what it was called.
We're doomed, guys.
Stromboli.
Yeah.
We'll be
I'll
alright in our planes.
I'll be there in 10 days, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Yeah. Take photos. Close.
Just make sure you got your separators on if you're in the turboprops.
Mm-hmm. You know, I had never thought about that. So I live in the Pacific Northwest in the U.S., and one of these days we're going to get a gigantic earthquake when the tectonic plates let loose. And I've always thought how devastating it's going to be. But all the people that are up in airplanes, as long as they can find somewhere to land afterward, they'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Take off
And,
just
uh,
before the earthquake. That's true.
And to have the prescience to know to take off beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a huge
East of California.
there's a huge fault underneath the Rift Valley. Some people say that when that goes off, it'll split the continent too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a TV program a while ago about La Palma and the Canaries Islands that might fall into the sea and take out the whole. Yeah, take out the whole western seaboard.
Yeah.
Good.
And Europe, west of Europe as well.
Excellent idea.
Well, guys, you know that this Rift Valley is where the two, before mankind obviously, but as the Earth formed, this is where the two plates butted up against each other and created this massive Rift Valley, which goes from Lake Victoria, in fact north of Lake Victoria, all the way down to Zimbabwe.
I wish I had the Kodiak on floats.
I know somebody who has.
So I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I'm coming in over the lake, but no one else is down low with me. Is the runway on the hill?
The airport,
on the edge?
The airport,
It's on the ridge.
yeah, it's on top of the ridge.
Okay.
If you look at your topo map, you'll see the density there, and it's higher in elevation.
The airport is roughly 7,800 feet.
That's right.
And I'm on final.
And I'm on base. Long base, but on base.
Who's on vocals?
There goes Golf Mike.
I'll be on percussion here in a second.
Very good.
What's
Heavy on the toilet.
These jokes are bad.
Yeah, who was that? Somebody in the Discord the other day was showing a it was Red Ruffinsaw was showing a toilet with obviously a handle for manipulating it on the right side, you know, one of these modern toilets. And I said, don't make sure you don't pull up too hard on the cyclic. And avoid vortex ring at all costs.
Whoa!
What was that?
that was a whoa.
I have to go look in this in Google Maps and see what that white area is. Maybe find some photos.
We are on the southern.
Uh-oh, there comes a car.
Yeah, there's a road right at the end of the runway.
Is this just touch and go?
No, there's full stop, sir.
Anybody know how long this runway is?
No, not
5,200.
It's quite a long runway, actually. But that first bit there is just the approach. It's not the runway starts where the dirt starts.
I remember.
My dog has just got in between my legs. I'm not going to be able to brake. she's scared to death of fireworks, which is what's going off at the moment. So.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
terrible.
this time of year. I hate this time of year.
Yeah,
Why?
we hate it too.
Old Gunner, I'm following you in.
What is going on that there's fireworks this time of year where you are?
Yeah,
November,
what is this?
November the 5th.
Gunpowder,
the 5th.
gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah.
It was never a tradition here in Canada, but everybody's doing it now here, and it's
I wish they just ban it and just go with displays only. I hate it.
It's banned, but they do it anyway.
What is it they're doing?
Fireworks.
They celebrate Guy Fawkes Night on the 5th of November. They used to plot to blow up Parliament in, what year was it? Someone would know.
Yeah, 1600.
Before my time.
It'd be very popular these days.
Yeah, true. But it's they start 2 or 3 weeks before and carry on a week after, and everybody that's on benefits spends their benefits on it. And so it's all times of the night.
But they do it late at night in the park and disturb everyone.
Just
I think the drone displays are much better. They do these illuminated drones. Very clever.
Yeah, very good.
Just wish they'd ban them and just go with organised displays.
They ban them, but they do it anyway.
Well, they wouldn't be able to get hold of them. That's the thing.
That's what we hope for.
Yeah.
There's always a way to get a hold of stuff that is banned.
We had them firing them out of scaffold poles at the fire service one year. They used firing them like bloody bazookas up in Derbyshire.
You know, when I was stationed there in England, I was asking the neighbors, is the celebration that he tried it or that he failed? And
yes,
they didn't know the answer.
The answer
tried
to
and
that is
tried
yes.
and failed.
Yeah, it was the fact he was caught. That's what they're celebrating, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, they burn an effigy of his body on the bonfire.
There's a lot of celebrating our failures in this country.
It's just an excuse for a party, basically, isn't it? It's the usual thing.
I think one man's failure is another man's success.
Absolutely.
The irony is they were supposed to hang, draw, and quarter him, but he fell off the scaffold and broke his neck.
Really, that's probably
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, did I?
I didn't tell you that at school.
They probably did, Steve.
Well, if I'd have been there, I'd have probably found out.
You were probably trying to hit somebody with a pellet or something.
I
with,
wasn't
with
a
your
troublemaker
ruler.
at all. No.
He was playing with his gas mask.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, guys,
I was a grade A student.
we're about to start the last leg. We're going to take off from here, heading 114 degrees, 22 nautical miles, and we're going to be heading to Lake Manyara. It is Hotel Tango Lima Mike. Its altitude is 4,150 feet, and we're landing runway 30. So we're landing the opposite way to the heading. So what we're going to do is fly past the runway, keep it on your left, fly over the escarpment, and then turn round, loop back for a landing runway 30. I beg your pardon, keep the runway to your right.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry, wrong. So keep the runway to your right. So we're going to take off from here. The altitude you need initially is 8,500 feet, and then after that, once the high ground is falls away, which it does, you'll then need you can then start descending. But to get out of the crater, you need a minimum of 7.5, and 8,500 is recommended. So when you're ready, let's go.
Not even landed yet.
Oh, my apologies. I thought everybody was in.
Well, you don't need to now.
You.
I need a turbo in this Bonanza. Can't keep up real guys in them props.
Pay no attention to the guy coming at you as you're trying to take off.
Yeah. He's just trying to be fashionably late.
I must say I'm very impressed with this H160. It can easily keep up with the turboprops here.
Nice. Does it have an autopilot?
Yeah, it must.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
And this auto trim feature, which is very handy as well.
It's got a
But you can
lovely.
hand fly it.
It's got a lovely auto hover, and it's got a automatic takeoff, either vertically or in reverse, which is very useful feature if you're in a tight space, which I normally am in a helicopter.
Are these things that actually appear in the real aircraft?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
They do. Yeah. Okay.
So all these auto systems are the way it is then?
It is, yes. It's the McCoy. The systems modeling, I'm told, and from what I can see, is quite deep.
When you think
Hence
what
the
they put in-
price.
when you think what they put
Quite
into drones
expensive,
now,
as you can imagine. It's
they're all
about
French, don't they?
50 US, I think.
It's a French company, though, isn't it? Airbus.
Yeah, it's Airbus.
French, German, European, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they build it in Marianne. So
All right, I've got to go. Thanks, Mark, so much. It's my first one in a long time. Really
Well,
nice meeting you.
thank you very much for joining us, and remember, you're always welcome.
All right.
Enjoy the
Bye.
race.
Cheers.
Enjoy the race.
Yeah, I will.
I think we know who's going to win.
Hasta luego.
Enjoy the
Gotta
Grand
say,
Prix.
I'm rooting for anyone other than the normal winner, but we'll see.
There are no winners.
Going back to the haptic seat, guys, how much was the going price at the moment?
I haven't looked recently, but it's
220.
It was 220,
Yeah,
yeah.
229 last time I saw.
Yeah, I have seen it as low as 199, but I can't remember where that was.
There's a
Who's
nice
the
road
supplier
around
again
that
over this
crater.
ridge?
I'm coming back here with the buggy. I'm going to drive around that crater. There's tarmac roads and dirt roads, and yeah.
How do you
tomorrow?
How do you manage Swumbo, Mark?
Sorry, say again?
When you've got the haptic seat, how do you manage Swumbo? Sierra Whiskey, Mike Bravo Oscar, Swumbo. She who must be obeyed. I mean, all that vibration going through the floor when she's trying to sleep.
No, with the haptic seat, it's almost totally silent.
Is it?
Yeah,
Very good.
Oh, that's very good.
yeah. It's not like the butt kicker. As I said in my review, people have asked me to compare them. They're so different. It's far more subtle and arguably far more realistic.
Oh, there. She then get suspicious, I think.
Are you still using the SimShaker, or they keep claiming they're going to have new software, but they don't?
No, I'm not using SimShaker. I keep getting cut off. It keeps cutting out. I've been on to them. They're aware of a problem, and it's a SimLink issue, and there are no immediate plans to address it. I'm using the default software now. I've gone back to that. They have updated a couple of months ago, and yeah, it works fine. Yeah, it works fine. It's limited. Disappointing things are ground roll and gear up, but the rest of it is really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's my Christmas present to
Works on
myself.
Xbox as well, I think, that's a haptic seat.
Yes, I've used it with the Xbox, no problem at all.
Great.
Mark, what was the problem you mentioned with the SimShaker? I didn't get that.
With SimShaker, you've got to install the legacy, one of the legacy SimConnect, for it to talk to the seat, and it keeps cutting out.
Okay, because I don't have that issue. For that reason, I ask. I have the butt kicker and I have the seat, and I use them both out of the program, and I can't remember having any issues. That's the reason I ask.
Did you install a separate SimConnect for the chair?
Honestly speaking, I don't know, because first I installed it for the butt kicker, and then I just basically added the seat on top of that.
Okay, so maybe that the instructions were to install a legacy version of SimConnect, which I did, and yeah, I ended up with problems. So maybe I need to revisit that. But I must say the default software is far better than it was on day one, and for me it just works great. But SimShaker has more options.
Yeah, that's what I use with the butt kicker, and the seat pad. I've got Sim Racing seat pad, which uses the same software as the P3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
so
you think these colours are real, guys?
They're quite real, believe it or not.
It's amazing how it goes from the green forest to these red fields.
Yeah. Massive. Again, you know, it's ex-volcanic.
Well, they cut it down. This is farmland, so they take all the green out so they can plant crops. This reminds me a lot of Hawaii.
Well, palm oil now.
Mark, have you heard of any more peripherals coming out for Xbox on the horizon?
I do. But I can't tell you about it yet.
I look forward to that then.
Aren't or won't.
He could tell you, but he'd have to delete you.
No, I'm on an NDA, guys.
Tell you what is good, fellas, and it's not cheap, is the Brunner yoke. That is really good if you've got deep pockets.
Is that force feedback?
Yes.
Clowns have got deep pockets.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it has its own software, and you have no, it all works. It all works. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the problem it's in Switzerland, if I recall correct, and importing from Switzerland is not straightforward.
Well, I've just imported mine to France, and the only thing that I had was unexpected was a £288 UPS import charge.
Guys, just a quick one. Remember to keep the runway to your right. Fly past the runway, and you'll see the runway's right on the edge of an escarpment. Fly over the escarpment, and then we're basically doing a downwind leg, then onto base, and then onto final.
If you can get hold of Brunner, Mark, and get them to send you one, it's well worth it. The immersion is, well, it's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. There's another yoke that I would very much like to try. I did try it out at one of the last UK flight sim shows, which was forever and a day ago. And that was the Fulcrum yoke. And that was pretty impressive.
I honestly don't think this company is operational anymore.
Oh, really?
Things in the FSIM forum going on there. I ordered one, waited for half a year, and then
What
I
for?
had to cancel.
What
and
for?
many people had to do this.
What, for Fulcrum?
Ran in the wrong way.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I'll check that because I met the guy during the early days, and yeah, it was very impressive. Very impressive. Nothing to look at. Nothing to look at. It you know, there was nothing, but the actual feel of the yoke and the amount of travel of the yoke and the responsiveness was absolutely amazing.
Mark, are you going to be turning around anytime soon?
I'm turning around now, sir.
Yeah,
For
but it really seems like this guy had, Chris I think is his name, had strong
that's
issues with manufacturing and...
it was
in the
Chris,
end,
you're right.
Yeah, in the end I think it's just an endless loop of things going worse and worse. When you cannot ship them, they don't finalize, and you don't get the money in the end.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, let's see how
That's
how
sad,
this
that.
goes ahead.
It's sad to
Would be
hear
really
that.
happy to reorder. Yeah.
Did you order
compare
one?
this with the-
Sorry, did you order one?
I did order one.
Did you get it?
Yeah. No.
Oh dear.
I was really. I think I would have been fine with like half a year of time waiting, but in the end, I think it's 180 days where you can get your money back from PayPal.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I also had to cancel it, unfortunately.
Were they very well priced?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were very well priced. Maybe too well priced from the sounds of it.
Exactly. I think that was maybe one of the issues. Was maybe on a quality level like those Yokos, but half to a third of the price.
The brew you would expect the amount they cost, and they are very well made, and it works absolutely fine. So you can go to the site, profile manager, and you can tweak bits, and you can download other people's profiles. It's good, yeah. It certainly adds to it, but it's just very expensive.
Okay guys, taxi in and around to the tower and park. This is the final stop. I'm just going to do a quick draw.
I'm not down yet.
That's okay. We're still waiting.
How do we turn off that annoying alarm in the cardiac range?
I think a new contender for force feedback yokes is the Simeonic one, which is like right in between the Brunner cheap one and the almost €2,000 one when it comes to travel and force.
I don't know about that joke.
Did you see the guy's review on the Simeonic one? There was a couple of reviews on there about
An Australian guy, right?
no, he's a Scottish guy. He's a guy from Scotland. He's looking at the Brunner foot pedals at the moment, which are ridiculous. They're £2,000. Yeah, they do what they say on the box, but you'd expect that. But I think it's more either very deep pockets, or you're doing it for a living. You're setting up a professional tim rig that you're going to train people on. They're licensed for training people or something.
See, but it's nice that many new products are coming out now.
Yeah. It was a shame that Microsoft stopped. I had a force feedback joystick years and years ago, and it was perfectly alright. It gave you enough feedback, but it all just suddenly stopped.
I had the Microsoft one. It was great at the time.
Yeah.
Sidewinder, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
I never understood why they just stopped making them. If it was something to do with patents or I don't know.
They just went into being a software company instead of a hardware company. It's a sim support force feedback. Does it have it? Not that I know of.
Yeah, it does. You get for the you get it DCS, Explain, and what's the other one? 3PD. It is supported. I think they provide you an emulator for Brunner, and then it does it from that. But it all works.
Ooh, sounds great.
Yeah, when we were flying over that bridge, that last airport, the last one, you were getting buffets all over the place. There's just turbulence and it's moving about in your hand.
Oh, cool.
You do feel it when you start off. The yoke falls forward, and as you build speed up, it comes back with the pressure on the elevator, and then the faster you go, the more resistance you get on the yoke to indicate airspeed.
Okay guys, I'm just going to quickly do a spin for the voucher. Just stand by. Here we go. And we have a winner, and it is Unk Monkey.
Hey, well done.
Congrats.
Well done.
Congrats.
Well done.
Congratulations. Well done.
So, to Unk Monkey, if you can send me a personal message on Discord, please. It's a £25 gift voucher, Xbox, Just Flight, or Sim Market. So if you just drop me a personal message, no problem. Unk Monkey, are you here?
Oh.
I'm the next one, and I'm here.
Guys, you know the
I'm
rule.
no rider here.
You know
He's
the
not
rules,
on the-
guys. You got to be. You got to be here. Unk Monkey, are you here?
I think he went to the races.
Okay.
You
So
already win.
back we go.
He's gonna-
Hold
he's gonna
on.
be mad.
Should be the next one.
I'm trying. Hold on.
What, you got the Ouija board out or something, Mark?
No, it's a it's a website, and
All right, yeah.
it's quite hard to interact with it at times, actually.
Yeah.
Did you give it the names off of Discord?
Mrs. SimHanger very kindly,
Swumbo.
very kindly enters all the names and what have you, but I can't seem to get this thing to react again. Just stand by, please. Sorry, guys. Technical problem.
What's her telephone number, Mark? I just want to have a chat with her.
It seems I won a prize. 20.0. Whoa.
Alphabetically unknown rider.
Right, I've run it again. We have a winner, NJ Pilot.
Congrats, Dave.
Dave, are you here?
Dave.
Dave's not here.
Oh.
No, he just
Dave's not
unmuted his
here, my
mic.
man.
He just unmuted his mic.
Hello, Dave, are you there? NJ Pilot, are you there?
He might
Still connected, yeah.
Yeah, no, he
be
was in
having
the flat.
problems with his mic. He's in the Discord.
Ask him to send you a text.
I gotta go.
Can we see him on the ground there?
Can anybody see him on the ground?
No, can't see any tags at all.
Okay. You're making me work for a living today, guys.
Good.
Yeah.
Somebody keeps spawning in and out. I don't know if he's responding to you.
He keeps muting and unmuting his mic.
Okay, I'll send NJ Pilot a personal message rather than drag this on. To everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. It's one of the highlights of my month, guys. Is for me, flying with the community is really what it's all about, and it's been an absolute pleasure. And hopefully, I'll see most of you next month for another fly-in. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mark.
Rick, yeah.
I'll be back for a first time with this